Hello, I'm Sang-Yim Kim at SPE Networks Asia. Welcome to the session on Approach on Korean Formats. Korean formats have been one of the most demanding properties in Asia in recent years. What were some of their strengths and approaches apart from creativity and innovation? Today we are going to look at 7 formats. Each of the panel will share with us on their unique views on the formats that they are creating and producing, and how this shows shaping the market trends in Korea. Let me introduce you each speaker. Let's start with the gentleman next to me. Yong-tack Kwon, producer from KBS. Iljoong Kim, Director of Global Format Strategy from SBS. Thomas Hankil Nam, Deputy Director of Global Business and International Relations from EBS. And lastly, Edgar Bosung Kim from CJENM, his Senior Analyst and Format Producer. For those of you who are not familiar with the Korea media market, KBS, SBS, EBS are terrestrial broadcast stations, and CJENM, the name speaks for itself, is media, entertainment and media contents company, correct? Okay. Before we go through the presentation, I would like you to ask to post questions online. I think if you have been with the session since morning, you're familiar with the Pigeonhole app. It's Pigeonhole at AT, password ATFSS 2014. Please ask questions, and we will look at the questions after the speaker's presentation at the end. So let's start. First, we will start with KBS. The programs to showcase today, one of them he's going to showcase 2. The first one is Return of Superman. So Yong-tack, let me ask you, what is the show about? What is the key element in the format that you believe is the strength to differentiate from the other similar formats?
I'm very glad to introduce our programs to you. The Return of Superman has been ranked #1 for 21 weeks among concurrent time programs. Since its first broadcast in November 2013, its rating has been increasing continuously. And last week, it recorded the highest rating among all entertainment programs in Korea, 17%. The basic concept and the only rule of this program is that the celebrity fathers must take care of their children on their own for 48 hours without their wives. For celebrity dads who are not used to taking care of their children, mainly due to their tight work schedule, babysitting is full of difficulties and confusions. However, throughout these 48 hours of babysitting process, the viewers indirectly experience the joy and bliss of caring children rather than the hardship of it. I'll stop the boring explanation here. Let's continue with the short video clip.
It wasn't boring explanation at all. Thank you for the explanation. Let's look at the promo, please.
정규 편성이 된다면 계속 출연하실 생각은 있으세요?
솔직히 나가고 싶고
곰 됐는데 곰? 어우. 아유, 내가 이럴 때는 웃는다.
안돼 이거 안 된다니까.
먹고 싶은 사람! 뽀도 먹고 싶은 사람!
When I get old, 멈춰라.
예. 전 더러고 좋았어.
자, 나가자.
The babies are very cute, especially the triplets. Yong-tack, let me ask you, family theme format is very popular in Korea recently, and currently airing in Korea, there are several reality shows with infants and children. What makes your show, Return of Superman, different?
Triplets and twins. Just kidding. I think that the cast is very important. Chu Sung-hoon, based on the octagon, becomes a gentleman in front of daddy's little girl Chu Sarang. The comedian Lee Hee-jae, who used to be a typical example of a playboy, now became a faithful head of a household. Their unfamiliar image came as pleasant surprise to the viewers. At the planning stage of the program, many celebrities hesitated to join because they felt uncomfortable exposing their private life to the public. However, situation has been changed now, and lots of celebrities asked to be appeared in the program.
I think what you're trying to say is the celebrities had their own image. One, the comedian, had an image of playboy, and the other, UFC fighter Chu Sung-hoon, he had a very macho image. But in the show, they show the caring father who just plays with the children. So you can see soft side in those macho men. Is that correct? So I think that what makes the show popular. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next show. It's called Human Condition. So what can you tell us about the show?
These days, computer, cell phone, car, and various disposable products now became a part of our everyday life. These things are considered essential in the modern civilization. The human condition began with one question: are those things really essential to our life? 6 comedians give answer to this question. 6 of the most popular comedians in Korea are selected as a sample group to live together and experience for a week. Some of you might expect this to be a boring documentary. Let's watch a short video clip and see what it is like.
Let's look at the promo, please.
좀 더 쉽고 좀 더 편하고 현대 문명이 만들어낸 달콤한 인간의 조건들. 휴대전화, 인터넷, TV가 없다면 과연 어떤 일이 벌어질까요?
전화. 전화가 안 되니까 여기 대기하고 있어라, 여기.
단순한 거야. 찾아가면 돼.
페이스만 좀 빌려주면 안 돼? 이게 손이 좀.
원래 이렇게 했어야 되는데 사람을 인터넷도 못하게 하고 TV도 못 보게 하고.
평소라면 전화로 했었던 이야기들. 오랜만에 직접 얼굴을 보니 밀린 얘기들이 많습니다.
내 친구를 오늘 만나니까 소통 자체가 좀 약간 감정이 있어.
내일
없어 여기? 안 보여?
스마트해진 세상에 더욱 스마트해진 휴대전화. 오늘만큼은 한 장의 추억을 간직할 수 있는 사진을 찍어봅니다.
없어도 막 못 사는 건 아니었던 것 같아.
살아가면서 진짜 소중한 게 무엇인지 우리는 가끔 돌아봐야 한다는 것을요.
Thank you. So a question about the show that we have just seen. Can you give us some of the example of the theme in the shows, and then which episodes received a popular response from the viewers?
There are about 20 items for 2 years. For example, living without car, finding true friends, living by the recommended calories, challenging zero heating cost, living on a low sodium diet, living without water, living without cosmetics for women comedians, living without stress, living without chemical products.
Living without stress.
Yeah.
So, that's very interesting. And also for women, living without cosmetics, that would have been quite a big challenge for the comedians, right? Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to Iljoong from SBS. The programs to showcase today, I think we need to change the... Today are two. And the first one is Love Village. What can you tell us about the show?
In fact, Love Village was a very special case in SBS also when it was created, because it was created by a documentary production team, which has nothing to do with dating formats. There are so many various kind of dating formats in this world nowadays. You know, for example, some shows have very strong concepts, such as nude body in Adam and Eve, and ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend in Ex on the Beach, and even fake prince in I Want to Marry Harry. This show is about American girls who want to marry with Harry, the British prince. Actually, he's not. It means that there are so many, people who make the dating shows wants to put the poison, in their structure, in their format. But our show, Love Village, goes the other, controversially. Love Village is not just an ordinary dating and matching show. It includes not only the matter of how to fall in love or sex, but also serious thought about marriage, which could be the ultimate stage of men and women. So in Love Village, way more interesting and diverse contestants appears compared to other dating shows that contestants are uniformly hot and cool. Okay, let me just show them to you. I want you to focus on the space they spend time with and wardrobe and how they call each other. Let's have a look.
The place where men and women gather to find lifetime partners while all personal information such as names, age, and occupations are still hidden. We call that place Love Village. There are 12 regulations in Love Village. While they spend a week together under the same roof, everyone must wear the same jackets and call each other by numbers instead of their names. To find love, at first they look very carefully at each other on an equal basis. But on the second day, things change when their occupations and more is revealed. During the lunchbox choice, feelings towards each other can be explored. In Love Village, having lunch together means that he likes her. Eating alone could be the cruelest
여자를
moment.
혼자 밥 먹게 내버려 두는 남자들의 심리는 무엇일까?
As time goes by in Love Village, the competition to win a girl they like becomes fierce like war. Unbelievably, they sometimes madly fall in love with each other in such a brief moment. Laughter and tears, jealousy and betrayal, forgiveness and goodbyes. Love Village is filled with extreme ups and downs.
한대잖아, 형이 큰맘 먹고. 아, 이런 완전 자기 멋대로인데요?
내가 그렇게 잘못한 건가요?
Their feelings sometimes crash.
아니 어쨌든 그냥 대화 안 되죠, 저희 지금. 저희 돌아가죠.
And sometimes are shattered. The final decision on the last day in Love Village.
최종 선택을 하지 않겠습니다.
In this instinctive and ferocious Love Village,
저 사람한테 드릴게요.
it's hard to predict anything until the final decision. Twelve couples met in Love Village, found love and married. There are now 4 happy children from these marriages.
Wow, so 12 couples, the contestants who were at this show got married?
Yes, including the divorced couple.
Oh, I see, okay.
They remarried each other.
Okay. Let me ask you, Koreans, especially the younger generation at 20s, tend to be somewhat shy in front of the camera. Did you expect them, the contestants, to be so candid, sharing their feelings and thoughts in front of the camera?
Oh, yes, of course. We expected, but we didn't have sure about the how to change them. But Love Village created many know-hows to make the contestants confess their feelings in front of the cameras. Just like the youngsters from any other Asian countries or Europe countries, the Korean youngsters don't express their feelings in public very easily. However, the Love Village changed them. I'm sure about that. We actually hear a lot from the people who saw the show that they never knew that Korean youngsters could be so straightforward. So I think we also, I also believe that this change could happen in many other Asian countries, including yours.
Okay, thank you. We look at your next show, which is called A Date with My Son-in-Law. How did you come up with the idea to pair mother-in-law and son-in-law?
Yes, like I mentioned before, the principal know-how of Love Village is how to set a mood real quick for non-celebrity contestants to leave nothing unsaid. But when it comes to the celebrities, it's completely different question. They are mostly not so frank in front of the camera. Then what should we do? It's the question that all of us here might have asked at least once when we work with the celebrities. So what we did was to put them with someone that they can feel the most awkward to spend time with their in-laws. Some of you may not agree with me, but in many Asian countries, including Korea, mother-in-law and son-in-law relationship is known to be one of the most awkward human relationship. No? So let's see what happened.
Let's look at the promo.
An actor known for his manly attitude. A well-respected doctor who's appeared on various TV shows. And an announcer who's beloved for his well-mannered personality. They all have one thing in common. That they're all someone's lovely son-in-laws. What will happen if these celebrity sons-in-law are summoned to be roommates for a couple of days with their parents-in-law and without their wives? A date with my son-in-law. While spending quality time, they finally move from being foes to friends. Oh, have I mentioned that the entire time they are being watched by the one group who isn't there? The wives. The wives are watching everything from the studio with the presenters of the show and chatting about what they've just seen. Sometimes they are shocked. Sometimes they are embarrassed. But in the end, they burst into tears of joy when their husbands and parents open their hearts to each other.
사위 하나는 아주 잘 뒀어.
마음이 천사잖아, 천사 마음이.
We'll take the true meaning of family to a whole new level. A date with my son-in-law.
Thank you, Iljoong. Let's move on to EBS. The format to showcase today is called Let's Get Together Ding Dong Ding, right? So what is so special about this show? Please tell us.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Thomas from EBS. As you can see on the screen, Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang is a weekly musical TV show with educational value targeted for preschool children. So it has been a beloved show for 14 years, since 2000. Actually, this show is comprised of two parts, Storyland and Joyland. And you can get the more detailed plot and characters of our show through our trailer, which will be shown on the screen later. Regarding the strength of our show, most of all, our show is very unique and different in terms of target audience. Yeah, our show is for preschool children. So this is the first and simple distinction of our show. And second one, our show is remakeable. As I mentioned before briefly, there are two parts, two features of in our show. The first feature, named Storyland, is plot-driven feature. So it deals with Korean classic fairy tales and fairy tales around the world. So you can easily replace Korean classic fairy tales with your own local fairy tales. And on the other hand, fairy tales around the world, they are very universal. So you can just adapt our scripts. So remakeable is the second distinction of our show. And the third one, lastly, our show is transferable. We have lots of characters. They are very strong and exciting. So our show is easily adapted to other media. So rather than the first feature, Storyland is plot-driven, the second feature, named Joyland, is character-driven feature. So there are lots of characters, children love character, and when there is a crisis in Joyland, the children, the live audience, the children call out his name, Bunge Man, a crime-fighting superhero. Actually, Bunge Man means lightning man in Korean. So Bunge Man defeats the bad guys with his Bunge power. So Bunge Man is very popular in Korea, and he has spawned a musical and lots of merchandising opportunities, such as stationery and dolls, toys, books, and others. So transfer to other media is our third distinction. So remakeable, transferable for children, those three keywords are our key elements to our strength of our show.
Shall we look at the promo?
Yep.
Yes.
Stop! Stop! Nobody can stop the fun. Nobody can stop the joy and laughter. What's so exciting for the kids? Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang! Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang is the only children's show in Korea that is taped in front of a live studio audience. The show is comprised of two parts, which are fairy tale musical Story World and Joyland Land of Toys. Everything your children need to learn can be found here. Learn about traditions through classic fairy tales. Gain wisdom from fairy tales around the world. Fun-filled shows for lots of laughter. Children love the toys and characters in Joyland. Dancing and singing together with the show characters while rooting for the good guys. When there is a crisis in Joyland, the children call out his name. Man, a crime-fighting superhero. He defeats the bad guys with his Punge power. Children cheer wildly for Man when he uses his Punge power. It doesn't get better than this. But the focus is not simply about having fun. The show helps children develop their cognitive skills, creativity, and how to think critically. In addition, children are taught numbers, languages, and proper manners. Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang has been a beloved show for 14 years after it was first aired in 2000. The show creators have taped the show in different locations across the country. Over 1.5 million kids and adults have watched the show live. The show has traveled over 110,000 kilometers on the road. That's equivalent to circling the Earth 3 times. The show must go on. The show that even spawned a musical. The children's musical Man's Secret attracted 450,000 people, which is a huge turnout. The concert, Our Concert with Man, was #1 in online ticket sales. Man's popularity has also translated into merchandise sales, stationery supplies, toys, clothes, books, and stuffed dolls. Man's appeal is universal. On January 2014, Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang became the first children's show to have its format exported to China's CETV. Daji Aichi Ding Dong Dang to be aired in China starting from January 2015. Everything about the show, including characters, costume, props, script composition, and shooting in front of a live studio audience, is provided in a complete production Bible. Does anyone need Punge power? Let's Get Together Ding Dong Dang!
Wow, applause. The show has first aired back in 2000 and still running, so for 14 years. So what is the secret formula of this show? It not only survived in this competitive market, yet it stands out. So what do you think is the secret formula for this show?
I'd like to say the secret is interactive. As you know, linear TV as a media is limited to be interactive. But our show is filmed in front of live audience, not under our station in Seoul, but in different locations, in different cities across the country. So as you screened our trailer, over 1.5 million kids and parents have watched our show live, not through TV monitor. So moreover, children can dance and sing together with our show characters. So for example, Bunge power comes from the live audience, the children's great cheers. And after Bunge Man defeats the bad guys, stand up and dance, Bunge dance all together. So I think interactive is the secret.
The show is produced in different regions nationwide, so I'm assuming the production cost was quite high. Can you share with us what is the average production cost for each episode?
Yes, it is relatively higher than other children's show filmed in studio. It's about $35,000 to $50,000 per episode. Yeah, it is relatively high, but the variation comes from different locations. the further from EBS in Seoul, the more budget we need. However, different from other children's show filmed in studio, it is easy to find sponsors. Most of our sponsors are local government who are looking for some events for their local residents, especially for families. So actually they have budget, but they don't have content. So we can easily fund it by local government and other public or private companies who want to encourage their employees' morale, another sponsors for us.
Yes, it's always great to get sponsors for the shows to cover up the cost, right? I heard that the show is sold to CETV in China. CETV in China. Can you share with us what's the response of the Chinese audience of the localized show?
Yeah, our show is the first children's show in Korea to have its format exported to overseas. It will be aired on CTV in China once a week, starting from January next year. So it is not released yet, but the first show with live audience was filmed on November 23rd, just about 2 weeks ago in Beijing. So actually, CTV filmed 8 consecutive episodes for 4 days. All 8 shows accomplished full seat. So Chinese audience were also very excited. So one of impressive comment from CTV after filming the show was that most of Chinese show is traditional and legitimate drama or show. But our show is very interactive. That's why Chinese audience were so excited. So that was his comment. And CTV is also preparing for character licensing business with Bungaeman. Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, good luck with the ratings in China. Thank you, Thomas. Let's move on to Bosung from CJENM. You're going to show us 2 formats today.
Yeah.
The first one is Unplanned Trip. So can you tell us about the show?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to talk about our 2 formats, Unplanned Trip and Let's Eat. Yes. And Unplanned Trip is TVN's new travel and entertainment reality format from creators who brought us the famous format Grandpa's Over Flowers. And Let's Eat is the first ever scripted format which is quite successful to bring the K-wave to a recipe or formula. Actually, both of them are totally different genres, but possess quite similar elements. These are empathy and authenticity. These elements are TVN's strengths, which differentiate from others. And the ideas and stories originated from our original libraries can become the stronger creativities. Yes, Unplanned Trip is the last spin-off of TVN's famous Flower franchise. And it describes the story of backpacking trio of 3 best friends who have known each other for over 20 years. And this time, there is a very big twist in this format. So let's have a look at the trailer of Unplanned Trip.
Let's have the promo, please.
What if you have to suddenly go on a trip regardless of whether you wanted to or not? A new docu-reality entertainment format, Unplanned Trip. Introducing the members for this trip. These 3 guys are musicians in their 40s who have been best friends for over 20 years. The destination is a country where they have never been or even considered going to, Peru. To make things interesting, their mission is to reach Machu Picchu within 10 days. And there's another twist. They have to leave at this very moment. No plans and no preparations, just themselves.
여기서 볼 때 알았다고. 옷은 그러니까 속옷, 세면도구.
이러고 갈 수가 없잖아요. 지금 보내실 짐은 다 없어요. 네. 보내실 짐은 없네. 아니요, 보내실 짐이 없어요. 네. 열흘 동안 쓸 용돈.
$2,000 is all they have for the next 10 days. In Peru, anything can happen. They encounter language barriers. They find themselves having to share one towel among the three of them.
개운해.
And search high and low to find a room with a toilet for their picky friend.
Private bathroom. Where is the bathroom?
The conflicts become endless and almost unbearable.
카메라 좀 돌려올래? 아, 일단 욱하는 포인트가 생각보다 일찍 왔어요. 네.
However, taking a moment for a drink and some deep conversation is all they need to resolve any conflict.
기념사진이라는 분명히 한 톤 하나 모노톤인데 어떻게 그게
They also have the opportunity to look back over the years on their true friendship.
그래도 이제 거의 지났어.
After a few days, they're capable of finding their way anywhere by using only one Spanish sentence. For 10 days, they go through numerous adventures and eventually reach their final destination, Machu Picchu. Unexpected, but unforgettable. This trip will be remembered forever, not only for the three members, but also for you. Unplanned trip.
다음번에 이런 기회가 있다. 어디가 됐건 간에 저 두 명이랑 같이 가고 싶은데?
A quick question. The audience liked it. A quick question on the name of the show. I believe it's produced by the same production crew for Grandpa Over Flowers.
Yeah.
Why has the name of the show changed? Why not
yes.
Youth Over Flowers?
Actually, it came from very big difference between Unplanned Trip and Grandpa's Over Flowers. Actually, those three people doesn't have any idea when and where, with whom they're going to trip, and even they cannot figure it out how much budget they'll get from the produce members. So these kind of big difference makes some kind of hilarious moment and response from the three people. So yes, so that's why we have a different name, and yes, and that's why we have this spin-off of Grandpa's Over Flowers. Yes.
Shall we move on to the next show?
Yeah, sure.
Let's Eat. Can you
Let's
explain
Eat.
to us about the show?
Yes. Let's Eat is a romantic comedy. It focuses on the story of four singles living on their own, hungry for love, but healed by the food. Okay? So let's have a look at the trailer of Let's Eat.
Let's have the promo, please.
아, 스테이크. 저것도 맛있겠다. 저 이혼한 거 알고 계시죠? 혼자 사는 게 너무너무 재밌어요.
나 여자친구 없어. 사귈 생각도 없고.
빈 그릇 사진만 올려고? 이건 진짜 웃긴다.
웃긴 게 아니라 훌륭한 거죠. 그러고 보니 요새 점점 먹는 거에 집착하더라. 남녀가 만나는데 식궁합도 엄청 중요하다고 생각해요. 옆집 사세요? 저 내일 여기로 이사 갈 거거든요. 아, 여기 이거 그 쓰레기 봉투에서 흐른 거 같은데.
닦을게요. 누나.
누나요?
33이라면서요.
저기요! 이 여자 왜 데려가는 건데요? 실례지만 몇 년 전 의뢰인이시죠? 그렇게 잘해주는 데는 뭔가 이유가 있는 거 아니겠어요?
이수경 씨!
내 이름 어떻게 알아요? 내가 무슨 방송분이 퇴원이야 뭐야?
먹는 거 되게 좋아하시나 봐요.
네. 맛집 가는 거 이해 못하겠대. 나랑 취향이 안 맞아.
누나. 아이 그럼 카페 거의 다 왔지? 저기 누나 보이네? 비정 누나. 내가 누나 전화를 일부러 안 받을 리가 있나? 오빠가 지금 좀 바쁘거든. 그러니까 아무리 오빠가 좋아도 그렇지 이러면 오빠가 곤란해. 장난이에요.
내가 저 남자 조심하라 그랬지. 네가 아직 어려서 사람 볼 줄 몰라서 그러는데 저 남자 누가 봐도 수상해. 사기꾼 스타일이라고.
저 혼자 살아보는 거 로망이었거든요. 걸스토크 해보는 게 로망이었거든요. 꽃미나 미국 가는 게 로망이었거든요. 로망이었거든요. 오빠, 깜짝해.
둘이 한번 사귀어봐. 누나 남자친구 있던데요? 뜨거운 소리 날 거 들어봐.
성감대가 어디예요?
뭐? 김 변호사님!
왜 또 흔들리는 거야?
무슨 남자가 그렇게 해퍼요?
네?
구대영 씨가 자꾸 흘리고 다니니까
내가 뭘 흘려요?
사귈 것도 아니면서 웃어주고 챙겨주고 아무렇지도 않게 스킨십도 막 하고.
누나 나 좋아해요?
됐거든요.
Wow, it's an interesting show. Each episode represents different menu. So how do the producers make the selection? As in, what's the selection criteria of the menu in each episode?
Yes. Food is actually decided according to the story. If there is a certain situation which occurs in the story, the food is set to fulfill for that. And also, after just the first few episodes, we are very surprised to see lots of food brands which wanted to participate in it. Yes.
So did you have sponsors for each episode?
Yes, every episode, every restaurant, and every food we got sponsored.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
The show was a huge success in Korea, and I heard the season 2 is in development.
Yeah.
If this show was sold overseas, in which country or which cuisine do you think will work best?
Yes, as we know, and I believe food has no boundaries. Yeah. Eating is fairly universal, and the food can come from anywhere. And so, as I mentioned, one of the biggest TV and strengths came from empathy. The empathy based on the items and stories originated from our ordinary lives. So maybe local people love to their actors, actresses have to watch what they usually have for their lunch, breakfast, and dinner. So we love to watch a lot of local cuisines in the local versions of Let's Eat. Yeah, and also the producer and the creator of Let's Eat, Mr. Park Juna, is also here at ATF, and he's going to talk about Let's Eat on this Friday. So please don't miss it.
I have a general question. Maybe some of you can answer. What is the change in programming trend in the Korean market this year compared to last year and recent years? Iljoong, do you want to answer?
We have, as you like, we have so many reality shows about the family and the relationship between the personalities in your homes. I think this kind of situation will be less next year also. A family could be the closest relationship in your lives, but at the same time, it could be the most pain in the ass. So that's why the family is an awesome source of ideas for TV in everywhere in the world. I'm sure you will agree with me that there still are going to be a lot of family reality shows in many countries in 2015 also. Korea? Yes, of course. Yes. We will make more and more family reality shows.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add?
I have something to add what Mr. Kim Iljoong mentioned right before. Actually, it is very hard for me to define what the mainstream of Korea's content is nowadays. But I want to talk about this. Whenever we plan to make and create a new content and format in South Korea, we are considering about retaining the millennial groups to TV platforms, the commerce and media, transmedia. I'll give you some examples for this case. The first is about the Let's Eat. When you produce a Let's Eat, we got a very lot of chances of sponsorship with a lot of food brands and restaurant brands. And with those partners, we made and sold the lunchbox and dinner box in the convenience store, and it generated relevant scale of revenues for both companies. And the other one is about our TVN's recent drama, The Reason of Love. We published the frequent story of the drama on in the form of cartoons on the digital and mobile platforms. And the number of user records over 1 million. So it can be a very big help to promote the brand of the new TV drama. So I think these are very good cases to reveal what we are considering whenever we have a new content and format in South Korea. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a new way of promotion for the premiere of the show to produce cartoons or as a prequel to the show and then show it. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Shall we look at the questions from the audience? Let's pick something special for Iljoong from SBS. SBS has already made inroads into China with Running Man and Roommates. Can you share with us your experience working in the Chinese on the co-production?
First of all, we couldn't sell the Roommates Chinese yet. So I think that's the wrong. And yes, the production, co-production with Chinese of Running Man was very good. Actually, I'm not the member of the crew. I'm not the member of the co-production of Running Man with Chinese crew and Korean crew. My job is supervising and reporting them, but I have heard about so many things. Heard about the atmosphere, about the location spot. The Korean crew says the most frequently asked question from the Chinese crew is, why do the Koreans like game playing in your show so much? Yes, you can ask them, but we have to explain why do we why do we play the game first. We don't play the game to know who's the winner or loser. We play the game in the format to know the player's personality first. So the winner or loser is not the problem thing. Important thing. But some Chinese celebrities want to win the game just. So they fight each other seriously sometimes. Sometimes an ambulance came to the location spot. So we have to explain them, no, don't try to win or lose. You just show yourself, your personality while doing a game. So the kind of differences between two countries was some problem. And in these days, actually we have aired for the 9th episode last Friday, and they say it recorded 2.4 points, which is quite good record for the viewers rate. I mean, and then the Chinese says the game of the Running Man getting better and better. In terms of the, I mean, they changed the game with Chinese history and Chinese mythology or something like that. Not for the Korean or Korean things, or not for the just game itself. I mean, in other words, the Chinese crew want to express their I mean, priority or sincerity, confidence of their history or something, and culture, something like that. And then it came to the rules of the game, and then the Chinese viewers like it very much. So I think it's getting better and better. So my conclusion is the relationship between Chinese and Korea, while we are co-product, is very good, was very good. So there's no reason to not to do this again. So we will maybe do it again, I guess. Yes. Sorry for my poor English.
No, it's okay. It was very interesting. It was very interesting to hear how the Chinese contest then got very competitive, even though there's no money prize in it, right? If you win the game, sorry.
No, nothing, never.
But some of them, they offer like gold bar as a prize.
But it's nothing in comparison with their guarantees.
I see, I see, okay. Let's look at some other question. I think the one that received the most vote is the first one. Korea is known to produce numerous original and successful formats. Is there a specific thought process or formula to create such interesting concept? Who would like to answer this question?
Viewers late.
Maybe Yong-tack? Yes, yes, please.
한국 프로그램이 그 성공을 거둘 수 있었던 거는 제 생각엔 두 가지 요인이 있다고 생각합니다. 하나는
There are two reasons mainly why Korean programs have been so successful. So he's going to tell us about two reasons.
첫 번째는 한국 예능 프로그램에 출연하는 출연자들이 예능의 경험이 전 세계 어느 나라의 출연자들보다 많다는 점일 겁니다.
One of the key reasons is that the people who are participating in those programs are really experienced in terms of entertainment in many activities already.
그 중국에서 달려라 형제로 그 현지화된 런닝맨에서 그 한중 연예인들이 같이 출연하는 걸 보신 분들이 있을 겁니다.
In the Running Man show, you can notice that there are actually Chinese and Koreans together in the program.
저는 그 중국판 런닝맨을 1회서부터 5회까지 되게 흥미롭게 봤는데요. 거기에 출연하는 중국 연예인들이 점점 자신이 무엇을 해야 하는지를 알게 되는 것 같습니다.
He watched the series actually mainly done by the Chinese characters, and they actually gradually understand what they're supposed to do.
예, 그 한국적인 상황 때문에 한국 연예인들이 예능의 경험이 많다는 게 일단 첫 번째 요인일 것 같고요.
So what I'm trying to say is that those Korean characters who are actually more experienced, so when they actually hit the show, they know immediately what they need to do. In comparison, Chinese participants need some time to actually adjust to that program eventually.
예, 그리고 두 번째로는 한국에서 성공을 거둔 예능 프로그램 프로듀서들이 리얼리티를 어떻게 다뤄야 하는지를 알고 있다고 생각합니다.
The second reason is that those producers in Korea really understand how to deal with reality show.
Reality became the main subject of entertainment programs. However, I have a doubt whether the reality that viewers expect and the reality of real life correspond to each other. In real life, children sometimes never stop crying, whining about everything. Even for their parents, situation like this is very hard to bear. Children don't always have angel face and behave themselves. However, I don't think that the viewers would like to see baby crying all day long on television. I do believe the reality on entertainment program should first is a specific part or moment of real life that could satisfy the viewer fantasies or desires. Let's take Grandpapa Over Flowers as an example. This was a very successful program produced by CJ. For old men backpacking across Europe is a very rare occasion in reality. For some people, it is nothing more than just an idealistic idea. However, Grandpapa Over Flowers actually brought out sympathy and support from various viewers. I believe the answer lies on the strategy of setting up a situation that fulfills the viewer's fantasies and at the same time creating a very realistic character and detail. It's my answer.
Thank you, Yong-tack. We'll look at another question. When you conceptualize original programs in Korea, do you already have the global audience in mind? Sorry.
Yes, of course, especially in these days.
Do you have the global audience in mind, or do you think of the local Korean market?
Use your phone.
Yes, I have my own. Yes. And the Korean producer always think about the people's people's ideas, what kind of lifestyle they have. But whenever we start from this point, it doesn't matter whether where people live. Yeah, because the friendship, a family membership, and the romance between a man and woman, those kind of universality is a very key factor of Korean content. So this is the main idea, and this is the where Korean producers start to thinking about their new content. So, so nationality, it doesn't matter. Just what's the matter for producing content is what kind of lifestyle, what kind of people, what kind of thought, feelings people have, and it is the starting point for Korean producers. So this is why nowadays Korean content and formats get more popularity around this world. Yeah, I think.
Thank you. We are running out of time, so let's wrap up. At this session, we have looked into various format trends in Korea. One of the hottest topics this year is obviously close observation on the daily life of not just the core, but extended family. So I have a last question for each of you. Can you share with us what's your company's future projects in the coming years in terms of upcoming original productions, format sales, and if any co-production plans with the International Production Agency? Let's start with Yong-tack.
We will be broadcasting two new programs next January. The title is The Brave Family, a travel reality program, and the comedy program called The Invisible Man. English subtitles will be available in next February on KBS Media website. Please have a look and contact us anytime if you are interested. Thank you.
Iljoong?
Yes, strategy for the next year of SBS. I found an interesting concept in MIP TV this April. It's reinvent. I really love these words. But Korea is like a startup in global format market at this time, but we have produced so many excellent formats from last 20 years or 30, 40 years. In other words, Korea is like a hidden treasure island for global format market. That's why we, SBS, bring the X-Men here, this ATF, which is very well-known game show in Korea and in Southeast Asia also. Actually, it was a show about 7 years ago, but we realized that there are plenty of possibilities to accept this. I mean, the viewers accept this because it contains the same fun with Running Man, but it is I mean, taped in studio. It means without big budget or big crew, you can enjoy the same fun with Running Man, with X-Men. So you can see the trailer of X-Men or some brilliant SBS's. I don't like to use this word, but I have to old format in the SBS booth from tomorrow, or you can join us. You can drop by of our private format pitching session, which will be held in Thursday lunchtime, somewhere in this floor. So you can join us and then share the joy of finding diamonds from the stones of SBS. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas?
Yes. As you might know, EBS is different from other nationwide TV channels in Korea. We are more focusing on children's program and documentaries rather than entertainment. So we are keep producing documentaries on science, history, culture, society and nature with HD, 3D, and UHD. We are also developing a hybrid content, composing nature documentary with a 3D CGI animation character titled Detective Pete for children. For format sales, we are planning to introduce factual and documentary format, such as Our Teacher Has Changed, which was comparing documentary, awarded lots of prizes, not only in Korea but in Asia. And we are very open for international co-production. At the moment, EBS is co-producing children's drama and 3D history documentary with Myanmar, and nature documentary with Australia, and science documentary with China, and children's animation with France, Canada, and Malaysia. So we are very open to co-work with international partners. So please knock the door of EBS. Yeah.
Thank you. Bosung?
Yeah. In the coming next year, you're going to watch the US and the various versions of Grand Possible Flowers. And also the Genius game, the Holland version and the other European version of Genius game is going to show itself to European people. And other TV formats, they are going to be made and created in the various local versions in the very different countries. Here, yes, unfortunately, it's very hard for me to mention the specific information of our new coming content of TVN, but I can say that, as we always did, we are going to make and create numerous incredible content and format in the coming next year. And we'll keep trying our best to show that Korean content and format is going to be a new hit in this world. So please expect and see more the incredible miracle from Korea. Thank you.
Thank you. Korean broadcasters have started selling formats only in recent years, and there are many, many other formats broadcasted in Korea and not yet introduced. So if you'd like to shop for more Korean formats, please visit Korean Pavilion during the market. It's at L10 to shop for other great Korean formats. Thank you all for the entertaining presentation today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big applause to our 4 Korean speakers. Thank you very much.